We talked about core values, hiring great people, obviously, just now, delivering a return on investment to clients.
Yeah.
Ultimately, that allowed you to be acquired by Further, a much larger consultancy. And so, what was that process like? How did you start to think, wow, I've built this company over 8 years. I might like to sell it. And then you find a seller. I mean, how does all that work?
So over the years, different folks had reached out and they'd say, "Oh, we think we want a consultancy, or we like what you're doing. We don't have a consultancy, but we need a data science team, and it's a lot easier to just buy a data science team." So I'd flirted with the idea. And the goal of building a business is ultimately you do want to exit. You want to find a home. You want to find a place where your business can then create more value consistently as a part of something bigger. So I'd always been open to it. And a funny story is Mike Gustafson who's the CEO of Further, or president of Further, had seen Pandata's story in the Case alumni. So I went to Case Western Reserve University, and he started following and thinking about the future of Further. At the time, it was called Search Discovery. And they wanted to really move into cloud infrastructure, AI, and advanced machine learning projects. They had done great work in the analytics space and performance marketing space with these heavily regulated environments. And so it made sense for them to want to get into data science, machine learning. He reached out to me on LinkedIn, and I was in the middle of conference season. I totally missed his message. And so some of his employees who I was connected to, they have an office here in Cleveland, and so I'd met them at local meetups. They said, you really should talk to Mike. I answer his message. We set a time to meet. I go to his office. We do these pleasantries, fellow alumni. And then within 5 minutes, he says, "I think we want to buy Pandata." And I said, "Oh, okay." And as much as I wanted to say, "Heck yeah, this is the thing that I wanted the most," I had to stop, and I asked a few questions. And one of them was, "Tell me about your core values." And it wasn't, again, because I'm going to this whole like kumbaya, warm, fuzzy place. It was actually, I wanted to understand, if I were to sell what I have to this organization, what is the compatibility of my client base that would now be moving over? Would they stay? Would they have people taking care of them that are similar to the people taking care of them today? Would my team thrive? Would they be able to move over and seamlessly move into projects? And even though the core values are named different things, there was a lot of organizational compatibility. We had a lot of the same kind of problems that we were trying to solve, same attitudes, similar pay scales. And so when I saw that I could take my engine and put it into this machine and it would create even more value, that's a win-win. And that's one of the biggest lessons learned I talk to other entrepreneurs about, is find that home that maximizes the value for them and you. And not every organization is going to look like that. So in the case of Further, it made a lot of sense. We went through diligence at a record pace. It went from, "This is cool, let's explore this some more." Conversation got a little bit deeper in December. And then between January and March of last year, we went through so much paperwork, and the deal came together in about 3 months.
Wow. Really
Yeah.
great story there. I love this idea of finding the right home where
Yeah.
there's a win-win for sure for both organizations, the one being acquired as well as the acquirer. Very cool.
Absolutely. And, I hear a lot of horror stories of similar exits, and then it doesn't work out. And it's because that upfront configuration matchmaking really didn't happen. And it's very hard. We talked about, it's hard to say no to good things. And so I see a lot of entrepreneurs who end up pursuing it because it sounds great in theory, but then it falls flat. And so in this instance, and I can't really end this episode without giving a plug to Further and saying, we love our new home. We're getting to work on exciting things. And a lot of that vision and excitement that we had then came forward today because of that matchmaking process.